Welcome to today's episode of Guddoers. My name is Tony Morriss Agbor, and today we have another special guest, known for his high accomplished and respected leader with over 2 decades of experience in engineering, production management, and team development. Known for his ability also to inspire and lead multi-skills team, Kevin has fascinating story to share about his professional journey, leading philosophy, and diverse personal interests. Let's dive in. How are you keeping today, Kevin?
I'm great, Tony. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Good to have you on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. When you brought this up a couple of years ago with me, I was very interested to do it, and I'm glad I'm here.
Wow. I didn't know you were so interested. A lot of people, they don't like podcast radio. And when I tell them about it, they say, no, Tony. I was like, why? They have something they could not give me and me and my audience. So great to have you. And the reason why I am delighted to have you on the show is you're one of those good people out there that, people need to know, that we still have some good people out there. You're a good boss. You're one of those good boss. I know you don't like that name when I call you boss, but you're one of those good bosses that I've worked for, Well,
thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
I don't like the boss thing because as a leader, I prefer to be just like everybody else. Do by example, not shout until you have to do it.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why I don't like boss. I'm not one of the lads, but at the same stage, I'm not boss or sir, I'm Kevin. I always have been. And when I first started working, and I used to work for Dunnes Stores, one of my first jobs, and all the management there, it was Mr. Barry or it was Mr. Reynolds or whatever it was, but a lot of the time, as you got to know the managers, it was on a first name basis because, again, their philosophy was to lead by example. And that's where I got a lot of my philosophy from, is from my initial jobs with Dunnes Stores in Castlebar back in, 91 or 92?
That was a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Wow. So, man, it is amazing that you're here, man. We're delighted, we're thrilled to have you, some people, they might not know who you are, but I was very happy to work with you. You showed me nothing but love. I will move on now to ask you a little bit about your origin. I know you came from Ireland, but which part of Ireland are you from?
What type of an Irishman am I?
Well, the accent sounds like Dubliner.
A neutral enough accent. When I went to college first in Dublin, people wouldn't be able to pinpoint where I was from. But I'm originally from Castlebar, or a little village just out of Castlebar.
Okay.
I'm the son of a farmer and part-time telecom engineering worker, or P&T worker back then. Yeah. And my mum was a housewife and a farmer, and we came from a small farm about 6 or 8 miles outside of Castlebar, and yeah, that's where I'm from.
Sounds like a beautiful place.
Yes, it is. And you can see Croagh Patrick from the kitchen window, and you can see Nathan Moore and Nathan Bjog as well.
Wow.
So we're quite lucky.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah,
will you take me there someday?
I'll take you for a spin down to Castlebar, definitely. We'll make you walk up the Reek. We won't go Reek Sunday, but we might go some summer's day.
Yeah, that would be lovely. That would be lovely, man. Yeah, great. That's great. I will move on now to ask you a little bit about your professional background, if you don't mind.
Yeah, professional background.
Yeah, Kevin, you have had an extensive and impressive career. Could you tell us how your professional journey started and how it evolved over the years? Can you share how career progression started from your early roles in retail to your leadership position at ESAT, BT, and your long tenure as a general manager in Togram Engineering, or at Togram Engineering?
Okay. My journey starts back in secondary school, back in the early 90s. I had some very, very good teachers. My construction studies teacher was a great teacher, and he tried to show us an awful lot of things and bring us along and open us up to the possibilities of careers outside of farming and building and that kind of work. The engineering teacher was another teacher who tried to inspire us and show us other things, such as large machinery and equipment, the lathes, the mills and the CNC equipment. And then I had a very good physics teacher, Mr. Jordan. They taught or tried to teach myself and the rest of the kids in the class that there was nothing you couldn't do or couldn't learn. And that's where everything started for me. My mum got my first job at Dunn Stores in Castlebar. And there was a great management team there that encouraged us to do everything, try everything, do a bit of every job on the shop floor, and try everything. I did everything from sweeping the floors to stacking the shelves to collecting the cash from the tills and bringing it back to the cash office. And that's where my interest in security came from, because I was there doing it. So when it came to my picking a career in late fifth year, early sixth year of my Leaving Cert, going through the prospectus from all the different colleges, there were only two things that really appealed. There was tool making in Bolton Street in Dublin, which is the engineering work that I was doing with Togram for the last couple of years. And then there was business studies and security in the DIT in Mountjoy Square in Dublin. And they were the two courses that appealed to me the most. I applied for both of them, and I only got the one in the DIT. And myself and one of my very close friends from National School actually went to the same course in Dublin.
Okay, what course was that?
This is the Business Studies Security Management in the DIT. And we lived in an apartment and a shared house for 2 years up there. Both of us going to the same course and stuff like that. And then we met up with a few fellows from different parts of the country, from Galway and Tipperary and from Limerick. And we became very close friends there. And I'm still very close friends with the three of the lads, not the lads from Castlebar, unfortunately, anymore, but the other three lads we are. And we meet up every now and again. While doing the course in the DIT, we, again, another inspiring leader was there teaching. The DIT kind of operated a system of teaching where they're professionals teaching. They're not just lecturers. They also have careers in relative industry. So my security teacher was also a security officer for a company in Dublin. My business teacher ran a business. My accountancy teacher was an accountant. The legal person who was teaching us law for HR law and commercial law and that kind of stuff and legal law was also a barrister. So they were inspiring people. So I got a job working for the company of one of these lecturers. In a security control room for, what's the company's name? Bell Communications CP Security in Killester in Dublin. And I worked there for about 2.5 years. And during that time was a very, very busy period for that company. They were finding it hard to get staff. It was the mid-90s, mid to late 90s. It was hard to get staff.
Security stuff, you mean?
And we were in the security room, a small booth. Well, they did cash and transit collections. They also did VIP security, and they used to do, in the early form, they did radio systems attached to cars. So if a high-profile customer was hijacked, they had a panic button they could press, which sent a radio signal back to the security office, which would alert us to alert their private security staff and alert the Gardaí that they were in trouble.
And that's what the panic button is there for,
And then while I was there, it moved into the GPS systems. So the global positioning satellite system, they were using that to pinpoint it. And
I mean, the
tracking vehicles. They were so they were tracking logistics vehicles that were manufacturing chips and components for computers. The cigarette companies, these cash and transit vehicles, and also high-profile customers who were at high risk. So we'll say the higher end of the business professionals in the late 90s in Ireland. We won't go into who they were, but they were higher end professionals. They had private security consultants, and then they had this tracking system in their vehicles. And so they could press a panic button and it would send a signal to the security office.
Yeah.
The security office would notify the guards, and it would notify their private security companies and their next of kin, that kind of thing. And yeah, that technology.
Wow. I can imagine, how technology is still advanced, back in the days.
Well, back in the day, what you had, a whole big control room, maybe the size of a small house, you can now run from your own mobile phone.
Yeah.
Like you can have your, your doorbell security system now.
Yeah.
And active cameras will come back to your phone.
Operated through the cloud now.
Yeah. But back then it was radio communications and direct lines. And that's where I went from the security into telecoms. Because in the security company we were dealing with telecommunications, because it was all based on telephone systems and communication systems, radio systems. So after 2 years, because I was so busy, and it was a control room. The control room back then, it was before the smoking ban came into operation. So you were in a control room with 3 others or 4 others, and some of them would smoke and some wouldn't smoke. And even with the amount of air conditioning and all the rest, it still had a lot of smoke in it, and was quite stressful.
Before they banned not smoking indoor, right?
Yeah, before they banned the smoking, it was terrible to work indoors. Even in bars back then, it was terrible.
And you're not a smoker.
That was a stressful environment, along with being with security and, we'll say, just like Storm Owen we just had here.
Yeah.
Storms and security.
Yeah.
One roll of thunder and a bang of lightning will set every alarm off, and within a mile or two of the thunder and lightning, so you'd be making phone calls and ringing customers.
Yeah,
and
the way that they do set up the alarms.
It interferes with alarms big time.
They do interfere with the alarms.
So it was quite a stressful environment. So I decided to move on, and that's where I moved on to telecoms.
All right.
So ESAT, which was owned by Dennis O'Brien back then, he had 2 sections or 3 sections. He had ESAT Digiphone, which was the mobile phone service.
That's what was forwarded again to where he said you walked in a small room where your co-workers, they are smokers, and the smoking in the room. He said it was terrible, and you're not a smoker.
No, I'm not a smoker.
So how do you navigate? How do you navigate your way, out of that situation? Did you have to fight somebody?
Well, put it like this: back in that period, you just have to get on with it. Like, smoking was everywhere. Smoking in the bar, smoking in restaurants, smoking everywhere. Smoking was just a factor of life. Sure. Like smoking in the bus.
It was a train,
flights as well. You just had to live with it. So I decided I didn't want to live with that anymore.
Yeah, all right. So that's why I moved on.
That's why I moved on.
Yeah, true. That's crazy. Yeah, I moved on to ESAT.
ESAT. So ESAT, as I said, there were 3 sections of that company. There was the ESAT Digiphone, ESAT Business, and then the company I moved into first was ESAT Home. Yeah. And it was a fledgling business in the ESAT empire at the time. They were selling domestic phone services to ordinary homes, houses, small businesses, that kind of stuff.
House phone,
So it was landline. So I went in there as a scheduler. And after about 3 months, because I had an understanding of phones, and my understanding of phones came from my dad, because my dad was a telephone system installer for the P&T or for Aircom back then. So he used to install payphones in bars and restaurants. He'd install telephone systems in hotels, and he'd install telephones in people's houses.
Interesting.
So we got some experience from when they launched a phone called the Payphone 20. It was a white phone with a blue handle. Some people remember here in Ireland, a lot of people won't. But when they first got that phone,
the mount on the street.
Yeah, the one on the street. But they also had a smaller version that would be in a restaurant or a bar, if you lived in a block of apartments. There might be one in the hallways. You came into your block of apartments. So when they got that phone first, my dad brought one home along with the instructions. And he was reading through the instructions to learn how to program the phone, because based on where you were ringing, if you're ringing a local number, it was 20 pence. If you're ringing a non-local number, so if you're ringing out your area code, which is, we'll say Galway here is 091, if you're ringing Mayo, which is 094, they had a different rate.
They have different area code, yeah?
Yeah, different area code had a different rate. So instead of being
We're
20
not
cents...
We're not going to international yet.
No, we're not going to international. The international gets a lot more complicated, but just the local area would be 20 cents or 20 pence, and then and outside the local area might be 40 cents.
Yeah.
But it'd be 20 cents for 5 minutes, and then it'd be 10 cents every couple of minutes after that. And then with the out of area network, it'd be so much more. And then if you rang a mobile phone, and mobile phones didn't really exist back then, but if you rang an 088 radio phone, it'd be €1.50 a minute, or £1.50 a minute back then.
That's expensive, yeah.
And then if you were ringing an international number, you had to program the different codes. So 001 is the US, and that might be €5 a minute. And 0049 or 41, I think, is Switzerland. Might be €6 a minute. So
I bet I don't call you. Yes. So.
My dad was learning to program this, so we were there learning to program as well. And Dad would tell us about the phone system and stuff like that. So when I went and moved to ESAT, I knew a little bit about phones.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I knew a bit about what customers required because I worked in Duns and stuff like that, worked in security.
Yeah.
So I was able to move on quite quick enough. So I got a team leader role there. Team leader role, I wasn't team leader very long, and ESA got bought over by BT, which is British Telecom. And when they were bought over by British Telecom, it was a young, vibrant company. Yeah. I think the average age at one stage there was only 24 or 25. And a lot of the people that were working there were graduates from the universities and colleges in Dublin. And some of the girls were HR graduates and some of the guys were management graduates and stuff like that. But they needed a training program that was specific to the internal needs of the company, to train professionals to lead others. And it also needed to train individuals to be able to look after the customer.
Yeah.
So they developed a team leader training program, in-house team leader training program from the girls who had been to university and the lads who had been to other management companies. Yeah. And we did an in-house training course over a 3-month period. And that's where the team leader thing came from. And I spent a year and a half running 2 different teams until BT decided there was too many people doing the same job. So they decided to merge the business section and the home section together. And when they did that, some people, they announced a voluntary redundancy.
Okay.
And a voluntary redundancy is where you can just apply for the redundancy.
Without the job shutting down.
Without the job shutting down. It's not compulsory either. So you're not being made redundant, but you can apply to be made redundant. So a lot of the people...
Is there anything still there like that now?
Some companies still do voluntary redundancies, but it depends on the situation. So some people, you might only want to shed a small portion of your staff to keep your business going.
I get what you
So that you might call for voluntary redundancy, and they're not letting go every staff. So they can sometimes they can do compulsory redundancy or voluntary. The voluntary redundancy program resulted in an awful lot of, let's say, the experienced staff decided to apply for redundancy and leave. And then we were left with junior staff. Now, I didn't apply for redundancy because I wasn't with the company long enough to get anything. So I decided to hang in there and...
You're still doing the team leading?
Yeah, so doing the team leading. And then after about 3 months, my team kind of disappeared around me. And the function that I was fulfilling disappeared around me. And I was thinking about leaving. A role came up as a process development manager. Okay. And what that manager was looking for is they were looking for someone to go into the different departments, identify synergies within those departments and merge those departments together so that departments that were short-staffed within the business section or within the home section could work better together with the limited resources they had. So I did that for about a year. And then I got married in December of 2002.
That's a big thing.
And December 2 was a big thing. I went on honeymoon and came back after the honeymoon just before Christmas. And I went back into the office and it was a bit of a mess. Because with them having shed so many good staff, there was no one there to take responsibility. So
it was your fault.
Yeah, even though I still had a team. I still had a team of 3 people, but at the same stage, I had I think 900 emails And of the 900 emails, about 120 of them needed actual response. And I said, this is mental. And I said to Sinead, I've got enough, had enough here. Yeah, about 2 or 3 days later, Sinead's mum and dad rang to see if we would be interested in taking over the business.
Okay.
And I'll put myself as a naive 26-year-old. I thought
was 26
I was 26 then. I thought
that's young, man.
I thought this was a great opportunity. Now,
All right. What it was? Back of my mind.
Yes and no. In hindsight, no.
Okay.
Now, I have learned an awful lot. I did learn an awful lot. I gained an awful lot of experience, but at the same stage, it possibly wasn't the best decision to make, but it was a decision that was in front of me, and I decided to grab it.
Yeah. I think anybody else will do.
Yes, but it was a tough job. We came into an environment where Mark was looking to retire and exit. The staff that were there were very capable, but
Mark was the
Sinead's dad.
First person who established the business.
He started off the business in, I think it's 1980.
Okay.
He was making gears and sprockets and stuff back then for Mayo Engineering and for Thermo King and Van Lid and a few other companies internationally and nationally. So when we came down in March 2003, we came into a business where some of the staff were aging. Some of the staff didn't want to be there. The equipment needed updating because Mark had kind of put a pause on what he was doing because he didn't know what he was doing. He had no exit idea. So when we came down, we worked with Mark and the lads on the floor. So a lot of the lads you would have known yourself there when you came along were still there. They were long-term staff. Kevin Fox, Nadia, Kieran, Jacob. They were all there.
Jacob is my friend.
Yeah, they were all there when I came there.
All right.
There was two other staff on, one guy in night shift, one guy in day shift, one retired, one left, but had been long-term staff. They'd been with Mark at least 10 years prior to myself, and they turned up. So we went down. We did our best to modernise in the 20 years we ran it. It was an experience. You had to be, as a general manager of a small business, you have to be everything. Sinead has described it over the years, it's firefighting. And that's what you find yourself doing. And it's not just firefighting, it's camp firefighting. So
that is the Sinead professional job. Or how did the firefighting come about?
Well, the firefighting is a description of what the job entails.
What the job
the job entails. So there's always a problem.
Yeah.
Always a fire to have to put out.
True.
So whether it is
I get you.
a supplier failure with material not turning up or equipment not turning up to a job, or whether it's a personnel problem with personnel not turning up, or machines failing, or equipment failing, or we've had it there a couple of times over the last couple of years, just the water not working.
Yeah. And
you'd think water is a very basic thing in Galway City, but at the same stage, you don't have water to flush the toilet, water to wash your hands, you have got to let the staff go home. We had there at one stage the cryptosporidium outbreak in, where was it? I'd say 2010 or 11.
Yeah.
And our coolant in our machines had a foul smell after 2 weeks. We didn't know what it was. It was a bacteria infecting.
Jesus Christ.
It was bacteria infecting the coolant and causing the fume to rot.
Get in there?
Well, it was an outbreak of cryptosporidium. It was a virus or bacteria in the carb, and it was just getting into everything. And it was affecting the coolant in the machines.
Oh my God. Is that
so we put a
threat to our health?
It was back then.
Oh, yeah.
It was back then. There were hospitalizations after it. People were sick from it. But we had to invest in a small filtration system to filter and kill the bacteria before it even got to the machines. And then we invested in other equipment to take oil. So the sideways oil that runs in the machines, when it sits on top of coolant, it creates a barrier. So it's like putting oil on top of water. It creates a barrier. And if the water can't breathe, it can't get oxygen into it, it rots. And the coolant rots. And that's where the odours you get from foul water come from. It's the same as the odours you get from foul coolant. So, always firefighting. There's always some problem.
It is quite tough, challenging roles and job, career it is. I don't know how we managed it. Like, you don't have anything like assistant manager?
We weren't ever big enough for it. There was a case at one stage in, we'll say, probably 2013 and 14, where it looked like we might need to put a manager on the second shift. And then our big customer had a fire in 2015, and things went very quiet. When we came out of that, it took 18 months to come out of that. So I think it was November, December 2017 before we really recovered from that fire. And we got busy again. And then when we looked at it, thinking about it again in 19, what turned up? COVID turned up.
There's always something.
There's always something. And then it was difficult bringing in staff into that environment between 19 and 21 because the existing staff knew each other and could trust each other to a certain extent, but they didn't trust anyone else coming in. Now, they didn't need to be foreigners. All they need to be was just someone coming in. And they would be given out, and they didn't want them on the floor because they were afraid of their hygiene level giving them COVID.
Because the restriction that time was serious, you know. You have to give 2 meter, 1 meter distance.
2 meter, 1 meter. And we were a small team. There was only 9 of us at that stage. I think it was 9 of us that stage. Myself, Sinead, and Nadia in the office, and then 2 shifts. And it was difficult to
navigate through that.
It was difficult to get through that. It's also difficult to look after the staff and give them confidence to actually turn up to work.
A lot of shops, a lot of business was shut down, totally. Like bars, hotels. It was a sad moment for all of them because they're not making that much. But anyway, I know you from Togram Engineering. Togram Engineer, man, you work here ass off, that's why I ask, you didn't have I didn't see anything like assistant manager, but now you have clarified me that you don't need one because, it was only a few groups. But with the pressure, from the work, and managing the team, I don't see you get nervous or get nervous, broke down. You always, carry yourself well, stay pretty, and they work day after days, week after weeks, with no break. How do you manage to do that? I don't think I can do it, and I don't think many people can do that.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I can't. You've got to show that you're not afraid, that you're not frightened, and that you're in control to keep the people around you confident that someone knows what's being done and that they know how to do it. The best example I can give is, I think it was February of March of 2014. We had an insurance inspection from our insurance provider, and the insurance inspection, they asked for a PIR for our electrical system. A PIR is a premises inspection report. And so the report is you need to get an electrician or electrical engineer to certify that your wiring is up to standard and that you've got proper earths and that everything is to standard and that everything's safe. So we had an aging electrical network within our company. We had any of the newer machines that were bought were on new trip switches and had dedicated supplies to them, new wiring to them, but that wasn't good enough. So we got a letter from the insurance company after about a month to say we need this inspection report within the next 4 weeks. And I put it off saying we'll get to it because we were busy at the time. And then we got another letter to say we have to have this report. So we rang our electrician, who was Martin Carr, or is Martin Carr, and Martin came out on a Saturday morning and started doing what they called loop impedance test, which is just testing the earth on a system.
All right.
So it's the ratio of how quickly, my understanding, I might have it wrong, is how quickly your system earths if there's a problem.
All right.
Okay. Now, in our estate is built on a rock foundation, or rock. It's rocky ground. Yeah. So in rocky ground, the earth isn't as good because the electricity doesn't earth through rock very easily or very good. It's not a good conductor. Rock is not a good conductor.
No.
Earth and soil, through the soil and through the moisture in the soil, is a good conductor of electricity, but rock is not. Hence, your house is built of rock, because it doesn't
I think
conduct.
mine was built on rock. I'm in big trouble.
So the electrician was there doing this report, and he wasn't getting proper readings. So he rang a friend of his who worked in the ESB. He was a manager with the ESB, and he asked him to come up in his ESB capacity to have a look and see what was really wrong. He came up and he advised us that in our estate, the earthing is relied upon through the ESB's earth, which is your neutral wire. Your blue neutral wire is an earth. Yeah. It's the ESB's earth. Mm-hmm. So that's what they rely on. Blue is your neutral, brown is your live, and green or yellow is your earth.
Brown is the live one.
Yeah, brown's live. So they rely on the earth through they rely on the earth through the neutral system. But at the same stage, our network was too old and our electrician couldn't really certify it. And he says, you're going to need some upgrades. I'll say, that's fine. And he's got an electrical engineer to come in and spec what upgrades were needed. Yeah. And the electrical engineer went away and came back and gave us a report. And I asked my electrician, could he do it? He said, no, it's too big a job for me. But he says, I'll get a contractor who specialises in outfitting factories to do it. As a Derek Gunnan from Gunnan Group here in Galway. Very nice guy, very helpful guy. Yeah. He came in and he made a quote for rewiring the system and fixing everything up to code.
All right.
That quote was 65,000.
I was going to ask, is it expensive? Jesus.
The insurance company...
That's really expensive there now, man.
That was about September. The insurance company said if we hadn't got a inspection report or the factory up to code by November of 2014, we would no longer have insurance. They were pulling our insurance. Yeah. And that was one of the most stressful times we had because we didn't have the money. We were just after the recession, like 2009, 10, 11, we worked a short week. 2012 was a good year. 2013 was a good year, but we were still recovering from the losses.
Yes.
So we had to come up with the money, and I could see nowhere to come up with the money. So Sinead, my business partner, made the suggestion that we refinance one of the machines we just recently paid off. Okay. We had quite high value machines for holding tolerances and working that could hold tolerances well and work at a high volume production. Okay. And so we refinanced one of those machines to come up with the 65,000. And then we got the electrical contractors in. They started in November. I think it was November.
When you say refinance it, the machine, do you mean you sold it or you...
But in principle...
You lend it?
In principle, we used the machine... We sold the machine to the bank to secure finance against it. Oh. So the bank gave us finance against the machine based on the value of the machine. And the bank took ownership of the machine for 5 years or for 3 years once it was paid off. And you're paying off about 3,500 a month. Yeah. 3,500 a month when you're not making money is a lot of money. So it's
a small business like that.
It's nearly 2 wages back then. So it was difficult, but I was very stressed. When they started rewiring the job, they were coming in on Friday afternoons, and they do a bit of work on a Friday afternoon while the night shift was still there, and they'd work Saturday, Sunday, and do some work. So about the third week they came in on Friday at lunchtime, and they were going to take the system offline that weekend. So Friday lunchtime they came in, and about 11 o'clock that night, the building was black. No electricity. They'd pulled the board off the wall. There was no electricity. Our factory was dead. And I went home that night and I did not sleep. I was back in that factory floor at 6:15 the following morning.
Was it from the electric company?
Yeah. Back in that factory floor at 6:15 the following morning, and it was cold. It was dark. I was the only one there. I was walking around. Actually, no, I wasn't the only one there. Sinead was there with me, but there was nothing there to it.
That's bad, man.
So we had to get back up and running, and I left.
How did you get it back?
Well, the contracts were there. There was 18 men. There was what? There was 6 electricians or 7 electricians, and the rest were apprentices, or they were labourers working there non-stop. They worked from 7 on Saturday morning till 9 o'clock Saturday night, and they worked from 7 on Sunday morning until 12:15 on Sunday night. I left there Sunday night. We had just got the electricity back to the machines, but no machines running. So the following morning at 6 o'clock, we were back in, and I was powering up the machines, and the electricians were checking to make sure that the wiring was correct, so that the motors that were supposed to go clockwise when powered up, because on a 3-phase system, if you don't have the phases in the right orientation, your motors will spin the wrong direction. So a pump will suck rather than blow, or blow rather than suck, or a motor that should be going clockwise will go anti-clockwise. So we went around the factory floor switching on machines at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they got them all running, bar one. There was an issue with one of them, but we fixed it after a day or two. But yeah, that was very stressful. Like we'd basically killed our factory over a weekend and tried to bring life back to it, and it's But holding on to the control back then was difficult, because you had to show that you weren't worried about it, but at the same stage I was worried. There was going to be no insurance. There was no money to pay for the electrical works until Sinead came up with the idea of refinancing the machines, and the insurance company weren't giving any leeway because they couldn't. It needed to be up to code. And now, in fairness, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good enough to meet the existing standards, because it would met the standards from the 70s and 80s. It just no longer met the standards from 20th century. Or 21st century.
Yeah, of course.
So
we do need some upgrades on stage. What experience?
Your question was, how do I
my question was, can you share your career progressions and your long tenure as a general manager at the Togram Engineering? So you have given us, a lot from that, so until 2014, when you went to that electrical situation.
Yeah, the electrical situation. So we got out of that way, back and running into November 2014. And then we have a busy start to 2015. We are very, very busy. There's what we have. One issue what was the issue? Oh yes, our customer had a fire. So they had a fire in their paint plant at about 5 o'clock in the evening. The fire in their paint plant, and then the fire spread within the factory floor, and it burnt all the wiring. It melted the roof. It burnt equipment, and it burnt stock and everything else. They closed their factory floor because
that customer is it in Ireland?
That customer's in Ballinrobe. It's one of our main customers in Ballinrobe. We can't go into it right now But our customers in Ballinrobe, they have a big company employing 300 people, making machinery down there, and so they we went from.
That's terrible for them, man.
Yeah. Well, they recovered. Well, we went from turning over nearly 100,000 a month to 22 and 25,000 a month
during that period.
For about 12 months. Wow. It was a difficult period.
So do you have just one customer, or?
We had one. By that stage, we had one main big customer, and then we had maybe 5 or 6 smaller customers. But we had one main big customer. But the company always, since myself and Sinead took it over, that's the situation we were in. Most of our work was to one customer. Between 95 and 98% of the work was one customer for the last 20 years.
Okay. Why do you decide to hanging with one customer, or is it because that is a small business, or you are busy enough with that one customer?
We inherited that one customer, and that one customer was, when they were busy, a very good customer. There was no space for any other customers. We used to do some work there for Board na Mona at one stage. But we would do that work in August and September when our customer used to close for 3 weeks or 4 weeks in August. We'd be busy doing doing that other customer's job during that period and into September when we'd be quiet for our main customer. So throughout the rest of the year, we might be able to fit jobs in for some customers, but you wouldn't be able to put a big batch of work in. Like you're talking 100,000 a month. If you wanted another customer, you'd have to have capacity for that other customer. And my main customer always ate up the capacity of our machines. So the only way we could make things quicker was to buy more efficient machinery, such as our Citizen Miano machine and our Morriss Agbor machines. Any machine that came onto the factory floor could always do twice the work of the machine that left before it, or in some cases 3 times the work of the machine that left before it. So that's what we tried to do over the years.
That seemed like a smart move.
Yeah, it was. And the only way to keep up with the technology was to go to the trade shows in the NEC in Birmingham, or to listen to your salespeople coming in the door. And as I've said to people over the years, every day has to be a learning day.
Yeah, true.
And you've got to listen to people to learn. And if you're not listening to people, whether it be your teachers, your lecturers, people with experience, or just people who've got something to offer, you're not going to learn anything. And not everything you hear will be good advice or will be good, but
it is good.
It is good to listen.
Yeah, I believe you, Kevin. There's power in listening.
Yeah.
You had it enough from engineering himself. Okay, thank you so much so far. Wow, what a quite some experience. What experience. Hi, Faker, how are you keeping? Yeah, back. I forgot to say, get some cheer. Take any drink, water, there's water, anything. I think there's local said take some energy drink, keep yourself entertained as well. Don't just hang in there. Yeah. So, yeah, welcome to the podcast. This is the way the thing goes, man. It's a long day.
Some people can talk an awful lot of shite too.
It actually is interesting. I'm not, it actually is interesting.
Yeah, I know. So I should have actually.
No.
Yeah, there's other chairs. Damn, yeah, but you're
how about I take a toilet break?
Yeah, sure.
And Fikri gets a chair.
We take a toilet break, man. All right, good. I get you some pillow to sit down. We'll be back in a minute.
It's interesting though.
Yeah, I was afraid.
You'll have a lot of editing to do.
I always have. That's why the other video is not out yet, but I want it to be good before it's out. Where are we?
Epilogue.
Yeah. I would go on now to ask you what motivates you to take such a diverse responsibility at a Togram Engineering, from production and the procurement to research and development?
Necessity.
Okay.
It's
what is necessary?
Necessity is the mother of all invention.
Another invention. All right.
So it's because of us being such a small company, you can't afford to pay professionals to do everything for you. Because if you did, you'd have no money. Oh, yeah. So you learn by listening to professionals in other industries. So Sinead and myself have been members of a group called the PTMA, which is the Precision Turn Manufacturing Association, led by a Galway man called Charlie Coughlin. And now it's led by a man called Jerry Reynolds. And basically that is companies like ourselves, bigger, smaller, who have similar problems, whether it be supply issues, equipment issues, or staffing issues, or educational level of available staff. So we go to meetings at least once a quarter, maybe a little more often, a little less, depends on the year. And you listen to professionals there who have similar problems, and you get to know people in your own industry. It's kind of like a networking event, but people who have similar problems, and you just learn by listening.
They share their ideas.
They share their ideas, they share their problems, and they share their solutions. Some of these meetings, they would have other professionals in, such as legal teams or HR teams or security teams, to share their product maybe, or what they had, or what their experiences were. And going to the trade shows in the UK, or the UK is the only one I've been to. There are other ones in Europe, in Milan and Hanover.
It's a threshold, eh?
Trade shows, yeah. So they be.
What is that?
They be for machinery in our industry. So it's called, in the one in the UK is called MAC. It's in the NEC in Birmingham, and basically it is maybe a 12 or 15 acre site of.
Is it like exhibition?
It's an exhibition. It's like a car show, but for the CNC industry.
Right, yeah.
And then there would be ancillary shows off of that. So some of them, in some areas, there'd be pneumatics and hydraulics. So showing what pneumatics and hydraulics can do, whether it be assembly line robots or whether it be moving parts down a rollerless conveyor. So they're just you'll see it in some of the Japanese restaurants where you put a tray on a table and it just shoots off with your food on it, and it shoots back with your food on it, just on a little air system.
I haven't seen that now.
Little air system. It's not a conveyor, it's just like an air system. So some of the pneumatic stuff would have that in it.
Right, pneumatic system.
Yeah, pneumatic systems. And then all other parts, other shows there would have gears and gear technology or automation technologies.
So pneumatic would be more like robotic?
Pneumatic, it'd be air and hydraulics. Pneumatic is air. So air systems running off air, such as conveyor systems or assembly machines, just pick and place machines running off air. Not robotics. It'd be pre-robotics. Okay, robotics are
more like computerized.
Yeah, robotics for our engineering industry have really accelerated. We'll say they've always been available since Toyota in the 70s and 60s. But robotics that'd be robotics for assembly lines, where robotics for machining is only coming on in the last maybe 15 years or so. And you've got now what they call pick and place machines. So it'd be like an articulated arm. We'll pick a component from here, pick it up, bring it over, put it into a machine, take out a component out of the machine and put it in a place here, in a tray here again. And you might have another robotic arm coming down and probing it to check the measurements are correct internally and externally, and going away, and that would tell the computer, this is a good part, it goes on that line. This is a bad part, it goes on that line.
That is the advancement of the technology.
Yes, that's the advancement of technology. Oh yeah, it's up there with printing, like printing components. Yeah, like some of those new printing cells. Yeah. I believe one of them went to the space station to print tools in the space station just for repairs. Printing technology
space station, or do you mean in space?
International Space Station, yes.
Space station, you mean the office here? Jesus.
Yeah, well, the International Space Station have had a printer up there. Like, printer technology is coming on leaps and bounds. The only thing holding some of it back is the quality of the materials that they can print equipment from, whether it's hard enough to do heavy work or that kind of stuff. But at the same stage, I was at there's a company in Mullingar. It's the IMR, Irish Manufacturing Research Institute. And they have machine equipment down there that they bring in to run projects for engineering companies, where they test the equipment to see if it could do what they want to do, what the customer wants to do. And then they get grant aiding to help a customer buy that type of equipment. But they have equipment down there that is as strong as your adjustable spanner that you buy for fixing your kitchen sink. And if it's that strong, it's not far away from being able to make an engine in a car. Or make most of the components for an engine in a car, bar maybe the electrics. But printing technology's come along that much. Yeah. But as a small business, the only place to see that is to go to a trade show.
That's amazing.
Or
That's great.
going home at night. It's like when the smartphone first came out. My smartphone's there, but when the smartphones first came out, my one of the lads on the factory floor said to my wife Sinead that all he's going to be looking on that is videos and porn. Yeah, machinery. I have machines. Any type of machine you can think of that can be used in manufacturing, I have videos of that on my phone because that's what I look at. Look to see what machines are capable of. Look to see what machines can do. It's like we have Morrissikis in our factory floor. I had Morrissikis in our factory floor. I was watching a video a couple of years ago, Discovery Channel video a couple of years ago. It's a documentary of a town or city in Japan. And this little Chinese or Japanese fella comes down the stairs and he's got a small little footstool, maybe 18 inches high. And he comes down to a roller shutter door. And he opens up the roller shutter door, about the size of a garage door. And right inside that garage door, he had a Morrissiki, an NL 2500 Morrissiki. Manufacturing component.
Morrissiki.
Yeah. Well, Morrissiki is a Japanese company.
Yeah.
So, but he was manufacturing components in his garage, for want of a better word, for a car company down the road. And he was sitting in his little stool manufacturing components there. So videos, that's the kind of videos I watch. Technology and equipment, what can be done? What is the future? You have to be learning.
I think you've sent me one of those videos,
Definitely. I'll send you links.
I think you've sent me links and I have watched, what robot arms can do in a production engineering company like that. It is amazing. Wow. Yeah, that's good because I don't have this on my question now and you have explained us the advancement of technology in this type of area of job. Sorry, I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'll move on now to ask you, leading teams of both rewarding and challenging, someone who has managed teams of various sizes, what do you believe makes a great leader? Before you answer, Tony, Kevin, I would like you to know, I want you to know, okay, you're a great leader. And if you one day become a leader of this country, don't forget me in your paradise. Yeah.
Well, Tony, I don't have any political aspirations, so I won't become a leader of the country.
I'm only messing around.
I come from quite a political household, anyways, and politics has always been part of my family life growing up. So I've seen both sides of it and have no interest in getting involved in it. But as a leader of people, I believe in. Don't ask someone to do something that you wouldn't do yourself.
That's the first good example.
Yeah,
it's a great example actually.
There is no job that I have never been unwilling to do in Togram Engineering or any other company I've worked for. I have done everything from clean up human excrements and use needles and vomit. To what I don't know, applying for making.
You didn't do healthcare.
Well, no, I didn't do healthcare, but I did hygiene care. But I'll try everything and do everything. Yeah. I'll do everything from making business plans to get finance for machinery to getting under machine and getting dirty. I have no problem getting dirty, but you have to be willing to do that to be able to give people the confidence beside you to do the same job. Now, I have been accused of being a micromanager. I do tend to micromanage a lot sometimes. It is difficult not to.
What is micromanagement?
Where I get involved in everything too much.
All right.
Where it isn't necessary, but at the same stage, sometimes you're too close to the woods to see the trees, and it's difficult to step back. Over the years, I've had some very good personnel work for me who you could give a job to and you could rely on them to do it.
Okay.
Other people needed to be handheld and watched and made sure they don't hurt themselves or break the machinery.
Okay.
I've had every type of person that I can think of work for me, from those who wanted to work to those who didn't want to work, and those who didn't know what work was,
Yeah.
and those who wouldn't work to save their own lives. But over the years, I have also been very lucky to find good people to work with.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't like it when you say, we are going to do this. I try never to tell people you were going to do this. I said, we'll do this so that the employee who's doing the actual job has the confidence to know in their own heads that it's we that is doing this. So if there is a problem, we can fix it. They don't have to fix it. They can come and ask, I have a problem. What will we do?
Yeah.
And that is the way to approach most jobs. It doesn't matter how big or how small it is. There's a problem. What will we do? I don't expect everyone to have the solutions, because I don't have the solution to every problem myself. But at the same stage, the old analogy is 2 heads are better than one is very true. 2 heads are better than one.
True, yeah.
And 3 heads are better than one.
One person can
Exactly. Yeah. There's a guy I've met in a coffee shop where I have coffee. And he's, I think he's from Latvia. I'm not 100% sure. I think he's Latvia or Romania. I think it's Latvia he's from. And he says there are 2 types of Irish people.
Yeah.
There are Vikings and then there are sheep. The Vikings want to lead and fight and control everything. And the sheep want to do what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, that's the predators. Yeah. Predator and the prey.
Yeah. And he goes to me, he goes, you're a Viking. And I go, no, I'm not. I'm not a Viking, because I don't want to lead. I want people to work with me to achieve a goal.
Okay. Based on few years that I know you, okay, I have argued with somebody recently, I said, Kevin, I don't want to say boss, okay, my manager, he won't let you lift something more than 15 kg on your own, no matter, as far as he's there, unless you do it, but even if you do it on his behalf and he hear it, and if he hear it, he will be angry, he will cross with you. Kevin won't let you lift something over 15 kg on your own when I work with him. No matter how strong you think I am, he won't let me do that. And it takes only a good person, I said, to have those kindness at workplace, to have those care at workplace as a leader, as a manager. Sorry, the person asked me, no, maybe he don't want to get sued. I said, this is not about get sued. Compared to the recent place where I work, I watch the other manager make the other people move items that even twice size than them. And they said they cannot do it, but they still make them to move it. This is a different type of leadership where people understand people. But the way I understand you are a good white man. And I'm here to witness that there is still some good people out there, and you are one of them. You're not a Viking. But I will not say you are sheep either, because you're a smart man. And trust me, to be a leadership, actually, you have to have balls.
The thing about lifting weights is not really about lifting weights. It's more that any system, any system or any team is only as good as its weakest member or its weakest link.
True.
So,
I think so.
If you have a team of 5 people running 5 machines and one person gets hurt, you have 4 people running 5 machines, or 4 people trying to do the work of 5 people. It's not fair on the 4 people, nor is it fair on the person that's hurt themselves either.
True.
So it's to the benefit of everybody to share the work.
Talk that talk.
Let
them know.
It's the other thing as well is going back to is we will do this is the confidence of the person who has to do the work to be able to ask for help.
That's good.
You have to be able to ask for help. If you can't ask for help,
Yes.
why are you in the job?
You all need the help.
Yeah. Well, you're not the, if you want, you're not the, what's the word? You're not gaining from the profit of a business. So sharing in the work helps everybody. You don't have to carry the company on your shoulders. You have to be able to share the workload. I was in a business yesterday. It's a local company in Galway, a hardware store in Galway.
Yeah.
And there was a guy working a counter. It was about 5:20, and he'd been there all day. I was also in the exact same company on Saturday, and he'd been working all day Saturday. And he had 2 customers in front of him. He had a customer on the phone that he was supposed to ring back at 10:30 in the morning, but forgot to ring back. And there was a director of the company standing at his right shoulder. And the director of the company told him, serve those 2 customers, never mind the customer on the phone. And the guy served the customer ahead of me. And then he answered the phone and he says, I'm sorry, I do not have the authority to make that decision. But he says, I can't help you. It's not in the system, so I can't help you. And the customer obviously asked why or who can help me. And he transferred the phone call to the manager. And that manager was the director of the company. He then served me, and I went down to the other counter where the manager of the company was. Manager of the company had spent 10 minutes on the phone while I was dealing with this guy at the counter. And he hung up the phone and he went up the floor like a bull, raging to give out to the guy at the other counter who had transferred the phone call to him. He hadn't had a tea break that day. He worked through his breaks. Only one man at a counter where there's normally 2 people. And the director only went up to give out to him. That's not how to lead. That director could have either taken the phone call while I was standing there beside him, or he could have served one of us.
Yes.
Or he could have just hung up the phone himself, not left it on the employee to hang up the phone on the customer. If he didn't want to talk to the customer, or he didn't want the company to talk to the customer, it should have been his decision, not the employee's decision. It's work together.
Oh my God. Imagine what people can turn into.
Work together.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Many hands make light work.
Yes. Yeah, true. Teamwork.
Teamwork.
It makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Yeah, heard it now. Thank you so much so far for everything you have given us. So, that brought us to innovation and the problem solving. You've been involved in CNC machine operation and the plant maintenance. That is where I know you from, and you're very good at it. I'll tell you that. Yeah. How do you stay ahead in such a rapidly evolving technical field? What role does research and development play in staying competitive?
Okay. From, we'll say, just the machine maintenance. You listen to the people installing your machine day one. They will tell you what needs to be done to maintain your machine and what's most likely to go wrong.
Yeah.
And failing that, you read the IKEA instructions.
Okay.
It's like your car. Your car needs water in the window washer, it needs fuel in the tank, and it needs air in the tires.
Yeah, maintenance.
That's just the minimum. And then it needs to be serviced every 6 to 9 months. But it needs to be done. Not done every 3 or 4 years. Not running the fuel till you run out of fuel and putting dirt into your system. It's the same with your machinery. It's the same with your equipment. You've got to look after it. Do what it says on the instructions.
Common mistake all of us do.
Yeah. You got to read the instructions. It's as simple as that. Or listen to the people who sell you the vehicle or sell you your machine. They will tell you what's most likely to go wrong. They will tell you why it goes wrong.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, straightforward. That's simple. Listen. Listening to the professionals and they read the manuals.
Well, read the manuals or even read the maintenance manual. Just go through it. It's very simple. It's usually only a couple of pages.
We'll learn by trial and error.
Trial and error works, but
it can cause you damage.
Yeah.
A lot of damage. All right, good. What role does research and development play in staying competitive?
It is key to staying competitive. As I said earlier, any machine we replaced in the 20 years we ran the business could at least do twice the work of the machine than without the door for it. You have to go to the trade shows. You have to see what's available. Even the brochures coming in from your machine tool suppliers or from your tooling suppliers will tell you about their innovation. Now, in fairness, sometimes a lot of that innovation is just a new colored brochure or a new buzzword. It's not innovation. It's just trying to sell something. But occasionally, if you listen, you will pick up nuggets of information. Like back in 2010 or 2011, one of our tooling suppliers launched a new drill, brand new high-speed carbide drill. And it could do in 2 seconds what a normal drill might take 30 or 40 seconds to do.
So drill could make that big difference, yeah?
Just one tool. We went from a 1:40 cycle to 55-second cycle. So very much had to be seen to be believed. But we had a drill drilling a component, and it was taking pegs. So 55 mil of a hole was taking about maybe 50 seconds, between 45 and 50 seconds. We bought in this new drill and we listened to the advice of the tool supplier. And he goes, you drive it at this speed and at this speed. And it was like a hot knife through butter. A 55 mil hole.
Stop. No fucking way. Excuse me.
50 seconds off the job.
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, it worked in particular applications. We had an application where we were drilling up into a component and the chips were falling down out of the component. If you were drilling down into a component, you have problems with evacuation of the chip, which would cause issues as well. But we had, because the application we had for this tool, it made sense. It worked very well.
But how about the sideways?
Sideways was pretty good if you had a good coolant flow for evacuation of the chip, but it depended on the application. Just this one application, it saved time on this job. We're talking every hour and a half. 50. Yeah, you were saving an hour and a half in 500 components or 400 components, something like that. So where you were making 400 components, you're now making nearly 600 components in the same period.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, and we also had there a couple of years ago another tool where we had a problem with a tooling supplier and we went to the alternative. And the alternative tool was, with one supplier, we had to buy 10 items at a time and put 10 on hold with them. So we'd have to buy 10 now and have to use the other 10 within 3 months. Consignment stock. And then with a new tooling supplier, the customer had it in his catalogue available the following day. If you order by 3 o'clock today, but you by 12 o'clock tomorrow. That tool was 20% cheaper than the consignment stock tool. Was available off the shelf, so instead of having to buy 10, we could only buy 2 or 3. 20% cheaper. And we could drive it 25% harder. So we put it up again on a component and we went from a 3-minute cycle on that. Just that part of the cycle was 3 minutes to 2 minutes, 20 seconds or something like that. So it was 20% cheaper and it was the guts of 30% faster.
Wow. It's all win-win business.
It's all win-win.
That's a good deal for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way to stay ahead.
listen to your suppliers. Someone have something good to say.
Yeah, wow, yeah. Listen to them. Yeah, no. So listen to them and trust them. This is different than trust is the main.
Oh, trust is the main thing. Getting suppliers you can trust, or sales reps you can trust.
All right, that's good. Thank you very much. So that has brought us to personal insight and hobby. So I don't know how, don't mind me, it is AI that generates my questions. But I don't know why, and because I don't like normally go on someone personal questions. But okay. Anyway, we have it here. Beyond your professional achievement, I hear you are a quiet, the Christmas cake decorator and love technical puzzle. How do you get into these unique hobbies? What is the story behind passion for Mayo Quest for Sam? Okay, hold on. So we'll do this one at a time. Because two of them, I don't understand the end of them. In my mind, I know, but this personal hobby is so interesting. Beyond your professional achievement, I hear you acquired the Christmas cake decorator and I love technical puzzle. So what is it with the Christmas cake decorator?
Okay.
Or decorating?
It's not just the decorating.
Yeah, you baked it as well.
I baked them as well, yes.
Oh, right.
So the technical puzzles, the baking, and problem solving and maintenance all come down to the same thing.
Yeah, from the way you're looking at the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, I kind of see the picture now.
So Christmas cakes are notorious for being problems to make because you've got to do everything right. It's like back in my home house when we were kids, when the Christmas cake went in the oven, you couldn't bang the door, you couldn't make any noise, the cake will sink in the middle, whatever it is. It's not just that, they're quite costly to make. Yes. The fruit for the cake is expensive. The time it takes to make it expensive, and then it takes between 3.5 and 4.25 hours to bake. So you in the oven, in the oven, and you don't want all your hard work to disappear because someone banged the kitchen door or whatever it was, or opened the stove, or let the gas go out or something like that. So that is, if you want, where some of my my love for technical things come from. I like to follow recipes. Okay. Whether it is making a cake or making bread or whatever it is, you give me a recipe with a set of instructions, I will follow it. So same thing with machine maintenance. You give me the instructions, I will follow it. Fixing anything. If you have a set of instructions, you can fix it. If they're in Japanese, you're in trouble. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So the decorating the cakes is more of my creative side. I'm not very creative. I am not very creative.
Yeah. I am sometimes. I'm good with my hand. So now the kind of picture is coming clear to me now, it is more like art and craft.
That's the decorating in the things. And the decorating in the things, I'm not that creative, but I am making an effort to become more creative.
That is the way of creative. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, because if you decorate a nice cake, it is creative to work. Yeah, with fruits and. All the ingredients that come out to the test, Yeah.
But I made 6 this year. So I made 2 for 2 of my friends. I made 1 from one of my uncles. I made 1 for an in-law, and then I made 2 more, and I ate them myself, and Sinead ate them over a 2.5 month period. Yeah. But they're fun, and that's where a lot of my alcohol that we were talking about earlier goes into.
It goes into
my brandy and my whiskey and my rum goes into baking cakes.
You know what I'm thinking right now? When am I going to pay you a visit?
Tony's putting his request in for 2025's Christmas cake.
yeah, and a lot of people be thinking the same way too. Interesting, yummy. Oh, right, interesting hobby you have there. So, thank you very much for your clarification. That makes sense. What is the story behind the passion of Mayo's quest for Sam? Yeah,
we'll go with Mayo's quest for Sam.
Please tell us how did you get into this unique hobby of Mayo quest for Sam? Is that a TV show?
It is a very popular TV show that Mayo men and every other GAA fan gets addicted to from February through till August or September. Okay. It is the GAA's All-Ireland football final. So Mayo's quest for Sam is Sam Maguire. Sam Maguire is the trophy which your team wins if they win the All-Ireland final. Mayo has not won an All-Ireland final since 1953. We are very, very hungry to bring Sam back west of the Shannon.
GAA, that is the Irish Gaelic game.
Gaelic Games Association, yes. So it's football and hurling. But Mayo don't play well. Mayo don't play hurling as well as the rest of the country. We play
from Mayo, yeah?
We play football. Yeah, we're from Mayo. Yes, we can get to Crow Park, but we can't get it over the bar.
I get it now.
As kids, there's always been football in the house. When we were kids, there was no soccer on TV. We didn't watch soccer on TV. It wasn't. We won't say it wasn't allowed, but it'd be turned off or something else to be turned on instead, because my dad is a avid GA fan. Always was.
Big GA fan.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But no rugby, no soccer. It was GA. And that's what a lot of kids in Mayo at the time, that's what it was about. The only people who had interest in soccer when we were kids is people whose mum or dads may have been born in the UK or have worked in the UK and then come back to Ireland. But for the most part, it was all GA. Even in national school, it was all football. We've been following football since then, making Mayo flags and going to football games and traveling the country looking for tickets. And but 1953 is a long time since we last won.
Yeah, wow, that's true. Wow, okay. Do you still follow GA again?
Oh yes, I will watch every Mayo football game that I can see on TV.
Yeah, okay.
I don't go to the matches in Crow Park.
Yeah.
I don't know. I prefer it on the TV. I always have. It's probably where I'm most used to watching it. I never was very good at it. My brothers were very good at it, but I was never very good at it. But I like to watch it on TV. I like the social atmosphere of watching it with a group, either in a house or in a bar. But I do like to watch it.
That's good.
And I want us to win something. To win just once.
Yeah, that will come now. So we're going to get it now. Now that we are aware.
Next year.
Next year. We're watching,
Next year.
We want Mayo to get it this time, and next year.
Next year.
Next year is our year. Once you get it, I'll become a big GA fan as well.
Best piece of advice I can give you as a non-indigenous Irishman is just once go see a hurling game, either here in Galway or anywhere. Just go watch a hurling game live. It is something else to experience. I've said it to any Americans I ever meet when I'm in Dublin with my friends and stuff like that. If they're asking, if they're asking for something, they should do.
They're playing salt here.
They're playing salt, exactly.
Pretty much every weekend in salt.
But I say to anyone, whoever comes to the country, if you haven't seen it, go see it live. It is one of the best experiences you will have in Ireland. It is. I'm not sure if it is the fastest sport or it's one of the fastest sports out there.
Is it dangerous?
Well,
see, they have helmet on.
The helmet is because it is a piece of an ash sliotar. It can be or an ash hurl, I should say, not sliotar, an ash hurl. It can be sore if it hits you across the ears or across the knuckles. I know I met a guy a couple of years ago. He's quite a famous Galway hurling player, and he had bruises, He had lumps and bumps all up his hands on both sides from bruising, from being hit with the hurl over the years. These were these were knots in underneath the skin. They were no longer bruises. They were just knots that the skin and the muscle and the bones had formed from all the bruises and belts he got over the years. So it can be an intense game.
That's going to be an interesting one now to see. I want to know what the rules are like, if mistakenly, I know you plan to hit the ball, but if you mistakenly hit somebody, is there any consequences?
Well, if the referee sees you, it can be a yellow card or a red card. It depends. You can hook the ball, but you technically shouldn't hit the other player with your hurl. You're supposed to attack the sliotar, which is the ball, and interfere with his ability to solo the sliotar. But I don't believe you're allowed to hit the other player, even though I have seen at one hurling game in Dublin a couple of years ago, Kilkenny versus Galway. There was one particular Kilkenny hurler. He put the butt of his hurl through the helmet into the Galway man's nose and broke his nose right here.
Damn! How did you do that?
Well, the butt of the hurl is about maybe about 25 millimeters thick by maybe about 50, 60 millimeters long, and it'll fit in through the visor. The visor is no wider than your glasses, so it doesn't interfere with your ability to see the ball. So he put it in and he broke his nose. So yeah, it can be dangerous. But you're too old for playing that now, though.
Yeah, no. It's not about men. I have different sports, different kind of sport. Yeah, it's about the generation. So be careful. Kevin, we're almost to the end of our questions. It's good to know that someone have a hobby like this.
Looking at it.
Looking back on your career, what advice would you give to young professionals aspiring to take on leadership roles?
Okay, that's one that since I got the synopsis of this interview that I've been thinking about.
Just for people who want to pursue a career in such a professional job, leadership, based on your experience, what to do or not to do, advice what do you give to the generation?
Okay. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. You will learn from your mistakes. You've got to learn something every day. And understand that everybody has got something to teach you when you're learning.
Yeah. True.
People you pay for advice from are sometimes only trying to sell you something. But people who give you advice based on experience have already made the mistakes that you're going to make, and listen to them. There is a very apt song from the 90s, or ballad from the 90s, Wear Sunscreen. And I think everyone should listen to that song at least once.
Okay.
To make a decision on what they're going to do for their futures.
Oh, beautiful. Wear sunscreen. Sunscreen. Wear sunscreen.
Sun cream or sunscreen?
Sun cream. Some people, they don't listen until they get burned.
Yes, but listen to the song or listen to the ballad, and it's got good advice for everybody in it.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much. I have another question apart from AI question. That's my own personal question. But it's not personal to you. It's just kind of a game question. I call it rapid fire round question. You can choose not to answer. Just take your time, answer, and then there's no wrong or right answer on it. Mayo or Galway?
Mayo and football, Galway and hurling.
That is literally the political correct answer. Okay. Yeah. So which one?
Well, my dad has had cousins play for the Galway hurling team. And my dad has had cousins play for the Mayo football team. So
both.
So it's Mayo football and Galway and hurling, and if Mayo aren't in, it's Galway always.
You nailed this one. Well played. Well played. All right. Interesting. Next one. Engineering production or security management? Engineer production or security management?
It's a lot easier to fix something that's broken than to fix someone that's broken. So engineering.
That's way to look at it, yeah. I think I will agree with that as well. Yeah. I had more peace when I was working. Again, I was working for you in the factory.
I worked in Beaumont Hospital, just a security guard in the hospital in 96, 97. And in that hospital, they have a detox and drugs treatment center. And then they have ordinary wards. And I saw a lot there, learned a lot there. But while I was there, we used to have to assist some of the nursing staff with older patients who were confused and wanted to go home. And it's very difficult to assist in that kind of environment where your emotions have to take
Yeah.
have to take the problem into account, that you're a security member security there to protect and look after the staff and the patients, but there's nothing you can do with someone who is confused and upset other than try and give them support.
Yeah, true.
I worked, again, a similar job.
If you're not a doctor.
Yeah, if you're not a doctor, all you can do is listen and try and help. I also worked security in some of the shopping centres in Dublin City. And I saw some of the nastiest, dirtiest people out there do some of the nastiest, dirty things you could imagine. And I would rather work with a piece of inanimate steel and a piece of electronic equipment than put my emotions on the line again to help people. I do my best to help people, but sometimes you just can't help, and it's impossible for you to emotionally deal with that. So it is easier to run a machine in a production environment than it is to do security.
You can shut it down anytime. And
security is a tough job. It's you're working for someone else to protect their business, and you've got to protect their business from, we'll say, number one in most businesses, fire and theft. But you've also got to protect it from the staff getting hurt, you getting hurt. And they're some of the biggest things that it doesn't matter. Theft doesn't matter. It's protecting the people you work with and work for. And it's more important. Like, you can chase a robber down the street, but is it worth it?
No.
If you fall and trip and break your face, who cares?
No, I don't chase anybody. I try and I just shake them off. But,
best not to let them in.
Yeah.
Best not to let them in is all you can do.
That is
try and identify them, not let them in.
Yeah, I try to read the body language before anybody come in. Some people, they do like to sit behind the computer, but you know yourself, what are you going to do behind it? What can you do behind the computer? I've
sat behind the computer. I've worked in the shop. I've worked in the supermarkets.
But I prefer to stand, beside the doors sometimes to read the body language, and so I can decide who I let in and who I don't let in, But I tell you, like, I had peace, working with you in the factory. But if you ask me overall, I would like peace and quiet job. Podcast. Podcasting.
Futurist and written.
All right. Thank you so much, Kevin Bourke, everybody. Well, man, we cannot be any happier now to have you on the show, man.
I appreciate the invite, and
what an honor.
I appreciate the invite, and I've really enjoyed myself.
Thank you,
and good luck, Tony.
Thank you so much.
There are so many interesting people around Galway. You just got to get out and meet them.
Yeah, I believe so. One last question: what is the next for you, Kevin? Any new adventure or goals on the horizon? Please feel free to share with us.
What's next for me? Well, I started a new job in January with an engineering company nearby, PEM Engineering, in their tool room. And I'm happy to be that operator team member for the foreseeable future. It's been very tough letting 10 members of staff go and closing down a company, having put your heart and soul into it for over 20 years and put a lot of other things on hold while running the company and looking after everybody else to the detriment of some other people and or myself sometimes, that I'm happy just to run a machine and take it easy. Or not take it easy. To run a machine and let someone else do the firefighting and the camp firefighting and someone else have the stresses, because it's been tough, and it's been tougher. Losing it is the wrong word, but having to give it up. Having to give up a viable business with good staff, good history, good suppliers, and good opportunity, good prospect if only others could have realized it.
I don't think you should bite yourself in enough that, because you do not give it up. I think the business come to an end, whereby I think everything, also come to an end. We come to an end. He said, let go, friends. The friends that didn't go, they're there.
Yeah. Well, it's
They're there. And I am one of them, so I'm here.
Well, no, I haven't lost the friends, but I have lost what I put so much effort. Well, what we the company employees, the people that were there 10 minutes and the people that were there 30 years, we put an awful lot of effort into building something that we shouldn't have had to let go. And it has been a difficult couple of months just coming to grips with it and dealing with it. But it's at the same stage, it's something new that we've learned. It's a new experience, and I'm not planning to grow from it at the moment. I'm planning to digest it for a while longer before deviating from the current path that I'm on.
Yeah, I heard you said, good decision. I heard you said you want to take it easy. And I heard you say that you don't want to take it easy also. So I will also encourage you to take it easy. Treat yourself. Entertain yourself. Don't bite yourself for any the decision you took. I think it is good. We're all alive. You didn't lose any friend.
We didn't lose anyone along the way.
We relocated.
We're in the cloud now.
Yeah. We're made. That's life. We're meant to move around. Stay in one place too long is not good. Anything happen for a reason. So it might for good reason.
Yes.
For that recession happened. Okay. And once more, I want to let you know that I was, happy overall for working with you.
Yeah.
If we can do it over again, I would like to do it again with you. There's no doubt about it. Thank you very much for coming. We will dive deep more into that topic next time, maybe on our next episode.
It's the Tony and Kevin show.
Hey, guys.
Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome. Once again, it is an honor. We're very delighted to have you. Very thrilled to have you on our show. Thank you. I know you're a very busy man. Sometimes, you told me that you don't have to be at work, but you're still at work. I get this out quick. Sometimes, you tell me that I have to go. I don't have to be at work. Do you have professionals that advise you that you have overworked yourself? Is there a specific time that you should be at the workplace? Or?
Well, the new job, I start work at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm up at 4:45 in the morning.
Oh, right, that's it.
And I'm on the road by 5:20 latest.
Oh, very, very.
And then at the moment, we're busy in the new place, so I'm working overtime. So I should finish at 2:30, but I finish at 4 o'clock or 4:30.
Yeah.
Today is the first day. Today is the first day since I started the job 5 weeks ago. I've actually finished on time.
All right. Yeah. It got better.
Believe it or not,
it got better. So
it's more than my technical puzzles.
Yeah.
if I'm stuck in the middle of a puzzle, I don't want to walk away from it. I like to solve my puzzles.
Yeah.
I find it very frustrating to not solve something.
Yeah. I think I'm like you too.
And unfortunately, where the machine I'm on and the work I'm doing at the moment, there is some very good assistance there from some of the one of the tool makers. He's a very good assistant there, but at the same stage, the software in this machine is just that little bit different that I'm currently the only one that understands it. I had a week's training from a very good trainer, Godfrey McCoo from Northern Ireland, from HW Machine Tools. He was very, very good trainer. But at the same stage, while he is only a text message or an email away, it's now my job to fix the technical problem or to solve the puzzle or put it in place. And I'm addicted to solving puzzles.
I know. You're going to fix every problem there because I have not seen anything you can't fix.
Well,
That's why
Yeah.
I try to see you as a genius. Yeah.
I'm not a genius, and no, I'm not. I listen to a lot of people. I have a good memory for stuff, and I have a logical mind that I can follow a set of instructions. The only problem is if there's a page missing or a paragraph missing, I find it difficult to find a solution. But I don't want to leave it down until I have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tony.